Okay, so it is currently the last day in December. It's December 31st of 2024. That means that I have a lot of resetting to do today. So I already have my word for the year, and I've already kind of reset and touched up a lot of like my Notion stuff and my calendar, but there is still reset things left to do. So, off the top of my head, I know that I need to journal for the last day of the year. I also kind of want to recap a lot of the things that have taken place within the past kind of year. I need to go through and journal not only all of my goals for the next upcoming year, or I need to go in and journal my new prayer for the year and get my word of the year all written down and finalized. My word of the year is something that I've already been praying with the Lord about, and I'm just really excited for this word. So yeah, I kind of want to go back and reminisce on 2024 a little bit, and I want to go ahead and start prepping for the new year. And I also kind of wanted to just walk you guys through what that reset for me looks like. So I already know that this upcoming year is going to be a lot of change for me. I graduate in May of 2025, so I am about less than 5 months away from my graduation of college. I will be graduating at 20 years old with a bachelor's degree in communication. I don't have a plan for post-grad things. I'm really excited for this kind of upcoming year and what all of that means. I need to check let me check my to-do list really fast. I also want to show you guys my vision board. I kind of want to start off by showing you guys my 2025. That's so weird to say. But yeah, I just want to start off by showing you guys my 2025 vision board and by telling you guys my 2025 word of the year. I'm going to go back and I'm going to reminisce a little bit. So this is my 4th year having like a word of the year. And this word to me kind of wraps up the year. So the first year I ever did a word of the year, my word of the year was peace. And I have a olive branch tattoo just kind of dedicated to that year, because the first year that I did this was the year that I graduated high school and I was going into college. And so that's just kind of what the Lord gave me during that time, was that I was going to have to guard my peace and I was going to have to work on having peace. Peace was not something during that time that was just going to come easily. It wasn't something that I was just going to have. I was going to have to research it and work on it. The second year that I did the word of the year, my word was joy. And similarly, the Lord just really wanted me to understand what the joy of the Lord meant during that time. And so I did a lot of kind of research on what the joy of the Lord was and how to have joy even when you're not necessarily happy. But they're not the same thing. Joy is kind of a constant state and it is a choice, whereas happiness is a feeling and it's fleeting. Happiness can come and go during any time in your life, but you can always have joy, even in the sad moments. That was something the Lord really taught me during that time. I just feel like the Lord, it was almost like a building block. He was like, before I teach you anything else, I need you to understand how to have joy in me and what that looks like. I feel like I came out of that time truly understanding what he meant and understanding like what the joy of the Lord is. This last year, 2024, my word of the year was forbearance. And I feel like that was so true during that time period of my life. I kind of can't talk enough about how that was so accurate to my life. Oh, so this was my vision board for 2024. So this is how I've always done my vision boards. I always do just a big collage. It usually has a color scheme, and then I'll write the word really big across the front of it so I can see it, and then I'll usually put the year somewhere on the front too. This is not like a vision board is like, these are things I am envisioning and manifesting for myself. No, this is just a vibe check for the year. Now that you guys have an idea of where I'm coming from and what my vision boards and words have always meant for me, I am now excited to show you guys my vision board, my word for this year. So, my vision board and my word for this year is harvest. So, I was praying about it a lot, and I continually felt the word harvest being laid on my heart by the Lord. And I don't know exactly what He's going to do with it yet, but I know that this is what He wants me to look into. And so with harvest, I am really excited to do more research. And as the year goes on, I know that He is going to give me so many different ways that this word applies to my life. My understanding of it right now is that harvest is the period of time where workers are sent out. And it is a period of time where they take their tools and they take what they've learned and they go out into the fields and they do. But for now, that's kind of what it means for me, is just I have to take what I've learned for the past 3 years in college and I have to go do. I have to go do the work that He's been preparing me for. One thing I always do is I go in my journal and I write a prayer for that word and what that word's going to mean. And along with that prayer, it's kind of just a prayer for the next year coming up. So I'm going to write a whole prayer for the year of 2025. So anyway, let's go. Okay, so the next part of my reset for 2025 is I wanted to go into my journal and write down my kind of prayer for 2025. And I just think it's a really good basis because it's something that I can continue to like go and look back at and just kind of repeat it to myself throughout the entire year. I'm just gonna go ahead and write down my kind of prayer for the next year. Just really fast, I figure I'd kind of go over, this is my journal that I take with me literally everywhere. This is my lifeline, essentially. So I got this journal when I was in Thailand. It even like says on the back, like it's made in Thailand, and it's so special. And I just love this journal so much. So it is a traveler's notebook. And so you buy this leather kind of cover, and then you buy each of these like little sections is its own insert. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go into my little like spiritual section and write down my prayer for the next year. When it came to harvest, I included some just definitions of harvest. So from Oxford Dictionary, it is the process of or period of gathering crops, and Merriam-Webster defines it as to pick, to catch, or to collect. And then I just wrote down 2 verses that I feel like the Lord was really using, and I feel like He was using the most was Matthew 9:37 through 38, which is the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. And then he also, I feel like, just highlighted Galatians 6:7 through 9, and that says, a man reaps what he sows, and whoever sows to please their flesh, from flesh they will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please the Spirit will reap eternal life. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Along with the definitions and verses, I just kind of added some prayers for the next year. Because I feel like the Lord, with my word of the year, it's not necessarily like He's revealing it to me all in once. He usually gives me a word. I have no idea how it's going to apply to my life or what it means. And then throughout the year, He teaches me what it means and how it applies. This is kind of my foundation for it. And then as the year goes on, I'm very expectant that He will continue to clarify what that means. Now that I did that, I kind of want to go through and I want to make my actual like vision board, because my vision one is also like I'm gonna be printing them out and putting them in my journal. I'm just gonna make a Pinterest board and then I'm gonna print everything off to put it in my journal. I'm gonna start that on my Pinterest. read you guys off my 2025 goals for the year. I just figured I would pick up 25 goals for the year of 2025. The first goal that I have is that I want to read the entire Bible. And number 2 kind of goes along with that, but number 2 is I want to do my devotional every single day. The next thing that I really want to get into is I want to read 50 books this year. I think my reading goal last year was also 50 books, and I only read 32. And I'm going to chop that up to the fact that it was a really busy summer and it was a really busy year last year. So my next goal is to get 2 new tattoos this year, because last year my goal was 3 tattoos and I did not reach that goal. I only got 2 more, so I was 1 short of my goal. And then the next 2, so 5 and 6 are very similar. I want to go to 2 concerts and I want to go to 2 hockey games. I went all of 2024 without going to a single concert, and that to me is ridiculous because I love concerts and I think they're so fun, but they're always one of those things where I feel like I have better things to spend the money on. But at the end of the day, I really need to realize that like those are memories I'm never going to get back, and that's priceless. So my next goal is to get a job lined out. For those of you, I mentioned it earlier, but I graduate in May and I still don't have a post-grad plan, and so that is a goal on this list, is to get a job for post-grad. And then number 8 is to get an apartment or a house. That's for post-grad. I'm living in a dorm right now, but so my goal is once I get out of the dorm, I want to get an apartment or a house. That all depends on housing market and how all of that goes. Number 9 is to get a dog, because I have went the past 3 years without living with a dog, and it drives me insane because dogs are my favorite animal on this planet. As soon as I get an apartment and a house and I'm financially stable enough and I am settled, I want to get a dog. Number 10 is to journal at least once a week. I have been really bad about that. I have this journal and I will literally go a month without journaling, and that's atrocious. And then my next is to get my savings up to a certain amount. I did, in fact, reach this goal from last year that I had set for myself, so we're upping it, and hopefully I can put a little bit more in savings. My next one is to make my bed and clean more, specifically for like when I wake up in the morning. First thing I want to do is make my bed. I got into a really good habit of doing this past semester. That is my goal, is to make my bed more and just generally pick up and be a little bit cleaner. My next one is to commit to social media. Even my Instagram, I really want to get into a habit of posting more, because I have posted twice in the past 6 months. Next thing on this list, number 14, is to graduate. I'm set to graduate in May. I don't foresee anything changing that plan, but you never really know. Number 15 is to get into running. I have wanted to get into running for a really long time. I have so many friends that tell me how much they love running and how fun it is. My next 2, so 16 and 17 on this list, are 2 trips I want to take. I want to go to Malaysia. That is a mission trip that I have coming up soon. My next one is I want to go to Canada, whether that's by myself or with my best friend or with my family. Regardless of how I get there, I really want to go to Canada. Number 18 on this list is to wake up and go to bed earlier. That is a really big one, because I'm going to be so for real. My sleep schedule right now is awful. My 19th goal is to go on 1 weekend trip with my best friend and roommate. I'm graduating in May, and once I graduate, I don't know where I'm going to potentially be going. Number 20 is to eat healthier, and I will be so honest, that is a goal for post-grad. Once I have my own kitchen and my own fridge, and my food and meals are in my own hands, I will be eating healthier. Number 21 is to stay in touch with my college friends. That's a really general goal for 2025, but with me graduating in May is a very big goal of mine, that I do not want to fall out of touch with these people when I graduate. Next one is to stay confident in who God made me. That was something that I honestly have worked really hard in the past year to get that confidence, and I feel like I am in a really good place with it right now. So my goal is to just kind of keep on that track. Number 23 is to master sourdough, and I'm so serious about this goal. I have been working on my sourdough starter for the past month now, and I have not mastered it, and it's about to make me so mad. So my goal is to master sourdough in 2025. Number 24 on this list is to get better at cooking. I am an excellent baker. I bake all the time. I bake cookies and bread and cupcakes and muffins and all of the things. I love baking and I'm really good at it. I'm not good when it comes to just cooking, when it comes to like making meals and preparing them for people. And the last thing on this list, number 25 of 2025, is to dress to impress. And it was a big goal of mine my sophomore year of college that I wanted to experiment with fashion more. And I really did that. Like, I spent so much money on clothes and I really put myself out there. And I kind of had this mindset of like, I don't care if I look stupid. I just want to wear what makes me happy. Looking back on 2024, I feel like I have kind of dropped the ball. I have definitely reverted back to sweatshirts, leggings, because they're easy. And especially with how busy I have been this past semester, I feel like it's been hard to dedicate the time to try and make better clothes decisions. So going into 2025, I really want to go back to wearing things that make me happy. And I want to wear clothes that make me feel fun and exciting. But yeah, that's my 25 goals for 2025. All right, guys, that was my 2024 reset, recap, and prep video for 2025. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, I would highly recommend and love it if you wanted to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and say thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, stick around. Thank you guys. See ya.